You're on Discord, hanging out with your friend, and someone asks, hey, should we maybe play a game? And then you all spend the next 2 hours discussing what to play and end up playing nothing at all. Sound familiar? It does to me. So here's my solution. I'll just make a game myself and guilt trip everybody into playing that. Really though, I wanted to have a little bit of practice in making multiplayer and online games. And this seemed like a fun little project to do that with. Something small and simple. I watched some videos about Wii tanks recently and I figured, hey, that's actually a pretty good idea. So I wanted to make a simple arcade-style tank game where you just drive around and shoot cannonballs at each other. Simple, low stakes, and fun. So I started by coding some simple tank movements. You can only go forward and backwards, and you can turn around your own Z-axis. Turning the top of the tank is also locked to your camera view, which is separated from the rotation of the bottom of your tank. With all that, the controls are pretty much done. As I said, simple and easy. Now I need a model. So I whipped something up in Blender and I wanted to go for a very simple style here. Something with lots of bold, flat colors. So I had an idea. Instead of modeling a tank with these tracks and overcomplicating the entire modeling process, which would take a lot of time, not even to mention properly being able to animate all of that, or using something like a spline system in Engine to animate the tracks over, and then also getting that to work replicated over multiplayer, which seems like a potential nightmare, I just made a simple texture that can scroll when the tank is moving. It saves me a lot of work on multiple different levels in this project, and it kind of fits very well with the whole art style that I'm going for anyway. But my god, did it give me a massive headache in the end. This was the first time that I tried out network replication, and great, players can move around. The engine just does that for me. That gets replicated. Grand. Now, the top of the tank also needs to rotate freely from the bottom. That I will have to do fully by myself. The server can rotate, sweet. The clients can even see the server rotating. So now let's rotate the client and... damn it, that doesn't work. I won't lie to you, it took me way too long to figure this out. And maybe this wasn't the best thing to try and get into replication with the code being split between my tanks and the animation blueprint. It was a pain in the ass to track down where the issue actually came from. So I decided maybe I should take a little bit of a step back and try things out in Blueprint, where it's easier to quickly change things around and immediately see feedback. If nothing else, it just saves me having to recompile after every single minute change. And of course, once I did that, it took me about 2 minutes to get things right. But I'm stubborn, so now I need to go back into C++ to make it work there too, because otherwise Unreal wins, and we can't let Unreal win. I am the boss here, god damn it. Well, now that I have that all figured out, adding rotation to the actual cannon should be easy as... Okay, in my defense, it does replicate over the network. This is just a dumb bug somewhere else in the code. One line of fixed code later, I effectively have my tanks moving around as they should. That only took me, what, a day? Anyway, after adding a basic bullet and some damaging code, the game is now technically playable from here. But let's make things a little bit more pretty, or at least prettier than they are right now. Adding some particle effects, a screen shake, a little bit of a UI, and an actual level to play on. Speaking about levels, I don't just want to make a flat plane with a couple of walls that you can hide behind, I want to have height to these levels too, which means that I either have to make elevator, which doesn't seem great for me right now, or I can just make slopes that you can move up on. And if I have these slopes, we run into the issue of the tank clipping into the slope when it's driving up it, while the other half is hovering in the air. So of course I had to fix that issue, but it's a great example of these small little oversights that come to light when you have to make new additions and suddenly you figure out your code might not be as finished as you thought it was. After struggling with a little bit of UI stuff, all should be good now, except this damn game. While it is multiplayer, it only runs on a local network. I need to have it work over the internet, because otherwise what is the point of guilt-tripping my friends into playing it over Discord? Well, it turns out in order for that to work, being able to play with friends online, I need to either invite them into my developer account on the Epic Games developer portal, or I need to use a different online subsystem to connect clients together, or have my game submitted to be approved by Epic. For which I need to have a website linked to my account, which Epic's automatic services refuses to recognize, so I guess if I ever have a LAN party, we can play this game, but aside from that, I'm kind of done with it for now. I've learned the basics of network replication now, and maybe one day I can be bothered to make this thing work online. So yeah, that means the game isn't actually up for download at the moment. It's kind of impossible to play, and I do need to keep moving forward with making the game that I'm actually working on long term. So I'm gonna go do that, and I will see you guys back later. And a very big thank you to all of my Patreons. You can see them on screen right now. If you want to help out supporting the channel, there's a link down below in the description to the Patreon page. And a special thanks to my Cave Digger tier Patreons: Sir J. Thomas,